Hello, my name is Beth Williams. I'm a personal trainer and a yoga teacher, and today's class is a Warrior Fit strength training class for yogis. And today I decided to put together more of a flow where things transition a little bit easier from one thing to another. I had a request from a student that I give that a try, so I'm going to give it a try and we'll see how it goes. So today you're going to need a couple of bands. So I've got my extra light band, and I also have my medium band, and these are those looped bands. If they're not looped, you can tie your bands up into a loop. I also have a nice array of weights over here. I've got 2 3s, 2 5s, 2 10s, and 2 15s. If you want to pop in a couple of 8s for bicep curl to overhead press, you can do that instead of the 5s or the 10s. Also have a couple of yoga blocks. You might need those for some lunge twists. Got a blanket today, and we're going to use that to roll up and put underneath our heels for a squat. And then of course I have some water and a towel. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to come up to our feet. And let's go ahead and grab our lighter band for some easy rotator cuff warm up. So we're just going to place the band around the outsides of the hands with the thumbs on top. Elbows bent 90 degrees at the sides here, and we're standing up nice, straight, and tall. Take a breath in first. On your exhale, we'll rotate those arms out and equally go distance from the midline until you feel good amount of resistance, and then on the inhale, slowly bring your hands back to the starting position. We'll do 15 repetitions like that. Now usually when I do these with one band, maybe anchored to a post or a wall, I like to have a little towel or something like that in between my elbow and my rib cage so that my elbow is more aligned underneath the shoulder. But since we're doing this with both of our hands, it's a little bit harder to insert the towel in between your elbow and your rib cage. But the main point of that is to keep the elbows from abducting away from the shoulders. We'll just do 3 more here. So keeping more of a neutral upper arm position. Okay, great. So set that down. And we're going to go into some sun salutations with a lunge twist. So we'll start off at the top of the mat. Make sure you're not too close to your weights. If you have them up at the top of the mat, some set just a little bit further back. And you can have your blocks on either side of you, just in case you need them for the twist. Okay, so we'll inhale to sweep the arms out and up. Getting nice and tall here. Exhale to forward fold. Take the fingertips down to the floor as you round your spine. And then as you inhale, slide your hands up to the tops of your shins, lengthening the spine into a halfway lift. Now as you exhale, grab hold of those blocks, place them on the outsides of the feet, and step the right foot back so you're in a runner's lunge. Keep the left knee bent, and on an inhale, we'll reach the left hand up towards the sky as we twist the upper spine, looking up here. And then on the exhale, we'll take the hand down to the block, move the blocks aside, step back into plank, take a breath in here. Exhale to lower the knees, bend your elbows so they point straight back, lower down to your belly. Inhale to come into a back extension, a cobra. Exhale to push yourself up and back to a downward facing dog pose. Just enjoying the breath here, feeling that nice long length of the spine. We'll lift the right leg up on an inhale for 3-legged dog. As you exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Bring your hands to the blocks as you tuck them in close to the right foot. And inhale, we're taking a twist by reaching the right hand up towards the sky, looking up. And on an exhale, we'll take the right hand back down to the block. We're going to step the left foot forward. Slide your hands up to the tops of your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to rise up, reach up. Stretch the arms up, fingers up towards the sky. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. You can slide your hands down to the floor there. Coming into halfway lift on your inhale. Keep that length in your spine. Take your hands to your blocks. Exhale, step the left foot back. Keep the left knee lifted, the right knee bent. Inhale, twisting to the right, reach the right hand up. Look up to your right thumb. Exhale, take the right hand down to the blocks, set your blocks off to the side. Hands to the floor, plank pose, take a breath in here. Exhale, lower the knees if you'd like. Bend your elbows, lower your body to the floor. Inhale to come up into a cobra or maybe an upward dog. Exhale back to downward dog. Nice long inhale. And exhale. Maybe stretch the heels towards the floor. Inhale, lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Keep the right knee lifted. Hands to the blocks as you lengthen your spine. And inhale, twisting to the left. Look up to your left thumb as you reach your left fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, left hand down to the block. Inhale, step the right foot forward. Lengthen your spine and halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to rise up, reach up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Okay, good. So we'll just move our blocks aside. And I'd like for you to step back to the back of your mat. We'll just keep on with our warm up here. Inhale, stretch the arms out and up. We're going to walk out into plank. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly walk your hands forward. Minimal movement through your pelvis, lifting the heels as you come forward into plank. And take another breath in here. Good, exhale. Walk the hands back slowly. And inhale to rise up, reach the arms up. Get a little taller here. Exhale, fold. Walking the hands forward, nice and slow. Nice and slow. I get another in-breath in here. Exhale, walk the hands back. And inhale, rise up. Reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, walking forward, go slow. You might even take an exhale as you're walking out into plank. Another in-breath here. Exhale, walk the hands back nice and slow. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands forward. When you get there, pause. Walk the hands back. Nice and quiet, nice and slow. Inhale, rise up, reach up. We'll do one more. Exhale, forward fold. Nice and slow. I always start by walking my right hand forward. So on this one, I'm going to focus on the left hand being the one that leads. Finding my plank. And then I'm also going to start with my left hand leading to go back. It's good for the brain to change things up. We'll sweep the arms out and up on an inhale. And exhale, bring the hands together at the heart center. Good. Now we'll walk out into our plank again. And from our plank, we're going to go into a downward facing dog. So sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. And again, I'm going to start with my left hand as the leading hand to get me into plank. Minimal movement through the pelvis. And then find downward facing dog. We'll just take a few breaths here. Using the strong hands and arms to push the hips back. Good. Now slowly lower your knees down towards tabletop. Give yourself about 5 to 8 seconds to lower the knees. Ready? Start to bend them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and lower. Okay, I'm going to sit back onto the heels, grab my blanket, and make a nice tight roll with the blanket. So I got a nice tight roll with the blanket, and I'm going to use that for Malasana squat. So my heels are going to be up onto the blanket. So I'll just come into a downward dog and then step my right foot forward. So my heel is on the blanket, step my left foot forward, so my heel is on the blanket, and finding my squat, bending the knees, taking the hips down, elbows in towards the inner thighs. Take a breath in here, and on your exhalation, I want you to round your upper back, bring your chin in towards your chest. So you feel a nice contraction in the abdominals. Inhaling, feel the back body expanding. Exhale, feel the contraction of the abdominals like you just did a crunch, and hug your knees in towards your elbows. 3 more breaths like that. Back body expands on the inhale. Exhale, feel the contraction of the abdominals. Press the knees into the elbows. Twice more. 2 more breaths. Good. Okay, so finishing that exhalation, bring your hands down to the floor. Just take a moment with hands to the floor just to put some weight into the hands and hug your knees in towards your elbows. And press your elbows into your knees. Good. Okay. So from here, let's lower the knees down. We can move the rolled up blanket out of the way. Come back into downward facing dog pose. Inhale to lift the right leg up, 3-legged dog. Exhale to step the right foot forward, lower the left knee down. Now if you need to slide that blanket underneath your knee, you can. You don't have to, but it's nice to have something underneath it. And then from here, we're going to grab our 5-pound weights. So hammer curls so that the palms are facing in towards the hips. And so we're going to curl as we exhale and press straight up. Inhale as we lower down, straightening the arms. Okay, so keep going. I'm going to turn to face you. So we'll do 10 of those on that side. So it's a curl on the exhale, press up. Palms are facing each other. Inhale as you lower down. Exhale as you press up. Exhale as you press. Three more. Last one. Okay, and then set your weights down, come back into downward facing dog pose. And lift the left leg up on an inhale, three-legged dog. As you exhale, step the left foot between the hands, lower your right knee down. Grab those 5 or 8 pound weights. And other side here. So curling on the exhale, pressing up overhead. Bending the elbows to lower down, back into straight arms. So 10 all together. Exhale as you press, inhale as you lower. Keeping an upright and vertical posture, torso, where your ears are above your shoulders, shoulders above your hips. 3 more. Last one. Okay. Back to downward facing dog. I'm just going to move my blanket. And then I want you to push really strongly into your hands. Bend your knees, lift your heels, and then hop your feet forward. However many hops it takes you to get there, towards the top of your mat. And then once you're there, go ahead and grab your yellow band or your heavier band and go ahead and come all the way up to standing, reaching the arms up, inhale. And exhale, take the hands down. Okay, so we're going to take the band and place the band around the outsides of the hands like we did with our rotator cuff earlier. Thumbs are on top. So this is really good work for your back, like a row, working your rhomboids, hip flexion to hip extension. So working the hip flexors equally with hip extension, and also good for balance. So I'll just do the first one and then you can join in. We're going to stick on the same side for 8 to 10 times in a row. So starting with elbows bent 90 degrees, shifting the weight over into the right foot, and lifting the left knee, left hip. So we're just going to take a breath in here. On the exhale, you're going to straighten your arms forward and send your left leg back like you're going into warrior 3. And then rising up, inhale. Bring the elbows back, lift the left knee. Exhale, take the left leg back. Send the arms forward. Good, repeat. Exhale. Sorry, it's inhale as you lift the knee and squeeze. Exhale as you take the left leg back and the hands forward. That's 4. Nice and steady. Press your hands out into the band a little and see if that helps. So just hinging as far forward as you comfortably can from that right hip. So you can do 3 more. between repetitions. Good, come back to stand to end. I'm just gonna give my hands a little bit of a break. They were working really hard there. Before I switch over to the other side. So again, starting with the elbows under the shoulders, looping the hands, shifting weight into the left foot. And I'm going to inhale as I lift my right knee. Exhale as I take the right leg back, straightening the arms. And repeat. Inhale, elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the right knee. Exhale, warrior three. And I find it's easier for me if I point my right foot rather than pointing the toes down. It helps to engage that superficial back line, the back line of the body. Okay, last four. Wiggle wobbles are allowed. Just doing the best we can here to appropriate set with the changes of the body in relationship to gravity. Oh heck, one more. Good. Okay, I feel like my hands got a good workout with that. So set the band down. Beautiful. So let's keep the heart rate going here. I'm going to turn to face you. So for 2 minutes, we're just going to lift our heel in towards our bottom with a wide stance so that we're working the outer hips as well. So transferring weight from one foot to the other, working those outer hip stabilizers. Got my hands interlaced here. People want to know, what do I do with my hands? Keep going. Working those hamstrings, stretching the quads. For 45 more seconds. Thirty more seconds. It's good to move differently. You don't want to keep doing the same thing every day. Keep your body guessing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn to face the front of the mat. Inhale to sweep the arms out and up. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, plant your hands and step your feet back to a plank. Take a breath in here. Exhale, blow out of the mouth. Now push the floor away from you more than you normally would so that you feel your shoulders working, the muscles under the armpits. You might even have more of a rounding in your upper back. Your head might feel like it's lower than the spine for now, that's okay. Now see if you can keep that engagement in the abdomen as you start to lengthen the crown of the head forward, bringing the shoulder blades just a little bit closer to each other. So you feel the muscles underneath the shoulder blades that connect to your upper arm bones working. Good. Now lower your knees. Beautiful. Sit back onto your heels. And we're just going to set up the mat for the next couple of things. So for chest presses, today I'm going to work with 10s. And the reason is because I wasn't feeling well the last couple of days, just my allergies. So I want to make sure that I'm not pushing myself too much. So got a couple of 10s. Those will be for chest presses in a bit. We'll also be using weights for hip extensions, so bridge up as well. But for now, very slowly lower yourself down onto your back with your knees bent. See how slow you can go. That wasn't very slow for me. I don't know about you, but it wasn't very slow. That's okay. Now, from here, we are going to do a modified happy baby. So, I can't quite grab my feet when my head and my shoulders are on the floor. I just can't do it. I don't have the hip flexion anymore. So, this happy baby is going to be more about abdominal strength with hip flexion. So after you bend your knees, you lift your feet, I want you to round your spine, reach up and grab your ankles or your feet wherever you can reach, comfortably reach, don't torture yourself. And then from there, keep rounding your upper back and squeeze your knees in towards your triceps, your elbows, and keep your head lifted. So we're gonna hold this for 30 seconds, and it's okay if your butt lifts. Because in this variation, it's kind of like cat back. Your spine is rounded. Good, keep hugging your thighs, your knees in towards your triceps. Good, and then slowly lower your head down, lower your feet down. Take the right leg into extension. Bring the left knee in. And then bring the right knee into flexion, left leg into extension. So hugging that right knee in. And then grab the back of your right thigh. Press your right thigh into your hands, so much so that you start to round your upper back, much like we did in that happy baby variation. Lift your left leg so that it's hovering above the floor. Keep pressing your right thigh into your hands. So you'll feel your abdominal muscles engaging. Good. Now switch to the other leg. Good, extend the right leg is hovering above the ground. Left thigh presses into the hands, rounding the back. A stationary crunch, if you will. Good, now grab the right thigh, same thing. Both legs are pressing into the hands, rounding the back. I'm trying to get my feet to be more symmetrical, and one flexed and one extended. And then rock up. Okay, did you feel how much easier it was to rock up when your abdominals were engaged? It was for me that time. So for chest presses, let's go ahead and grab our weights. I've got two 10-pounders. And coming back onto your back, feet on the floor, setting the shoulders. Are you ready? Inhale, bend the elbows 90 degrees. Exhale, press weight up and in. Just moving at your own pace here. That's 5 for me so far. That's 10. And this is 15. Okay, so now let's just place our weight onto the pelvis. So you can either use 1, 10, or 15, whatever you have, or both of them if you'd like for your bridge ups. This is not your deepest bridge. Those of you that have done class with me, you know this. So we're only lifting the hips about 6 inches, and we're not trying to lift the upper back as high as we would in a traditional bridge, like in a yoga class. Okay, hold the weights with your thumbs so they don't come rolling down towards your chest. Press equally through the 4 corners of your feet. Take a breath in first. Exhale, lift your hips. 6 to 8 inches. You are using your butt muscles, so squeeze your butt to lift your hips. Inhale, lower down. You might just lightly tap your bum on the floor. Exhale, lift. You might lower down, but don't let your skin of your bum touch the floor or the clothes on your bum. To touch the floor is what I really meant to say. Keep going. So important to have strong gluteal muscles and that glute hamstring connection. So if you have trouble with your squats, this could be one of the missing links, is that your hamstring glute connection isn't as strong as it could be. So doing these can really help to get your butt stronger and improve your squats. Let's go 5 more, guys. Also, if you tend to have some hip flexor weakness or pain, I'm going to balance it out with strong glutes. Okay. So those of you that are my cycle friends, I don't cycle, but you cycle and you're my friends. Your hip flexors might be tight because you're working them more. And correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't cycled in a long time, but when you're sitting on a bike cycling, you're not getting full hip extension, so your leg isn't going back behind your bum when you're pedaling because of the way that the seat is positioned. So we want to make sure we balance that effort with squats and bridges. Okay, we're going to do one more set of chest presses. So you can choose a different weight if you want. Even though the 10s were too easy for me, I'm still going to stick with the 10s because I'm still trying to take care of myself. So, ready? Here we go. Setting up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press. 15 reps. Really concentrating on your form. That's 5. You're going to keep your wrist over your elbows the whole time. Keeping those weights in line with the chest. That's 10. Last one. Good, let's do those bridges again. So you can take your weight to your pelvis. 20 repetitions, hold the weight. Press through your feet, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Keep going. Feel both sides of your hamstring glutes working equally. You got to put your mind in your butt. Also, if you spend a lot of time sitting at a desk or in a chair, doing hip extension, these and squats are going to help get your butt muscles back online. Last 5. Two more. Okay, so we're down here. So let's do one more set of chest press. 3 sets of chest press in one class. Oh my goodness. Okay, arms straight up. Ready? Inhale, bend your elbows. Exhale, press. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press. Keep going. That's 5. Ten. Last 2. Okay, so that felt better for me. Doing 3 sets at 10 instead of 2 sets at 15 today. Okay, let's make our way into downward facing dog pose. Good. Just lengthening the spine here. Good, lift your right leg up, inhale. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Lower the left knee down. You can slide your blanket down underneath the knee. And I'm going to grab my 5-pounders for my hammer curls into overhead press. So upright torso. We're going to exhale to curl and press. Inhale to lower down. We'll do 10 here. Let's do 2 more here. Last one. Good, lower down, find your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. 3-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands, lower the right knee down. Grab your 2 weights for your overhead press. Upright torso. Exhale, curl and press. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press. Follow your breath. Five more. Last two. And one. Set your weights aside. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, come to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise up, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Okay. So let's do deadlift, and you have the choice of doing single leg deadlift or just a traditional suitcase deadlift with both feet on the floor. And grab your weights. Suitcase deadlifts are hands starting off next to the hips, feet hip distance apart. It's a hip hinge. So you'd inhale as you hip hinge, neutral spine. Exhale as you rise. Single leg deadlift, you shift your weight into your right foot. Left leg is in hip extension. Inhale, hinge from the right hip. Lift the left leg, exhale, rise. So just doing 20 of your suitcase deadlift with both feet on the ground, or 8 to 10 of your single leg deadlift. And really try to keep your shoulders retracted. Try not to let the weights pull your upper spine into too much of a kyphosis. Keep your shoulders strong. 3 more if you're doing single leg deadlifts. Maybe you're stopping here and switching. Maybe you're getting to those 10 on each side. Totally normal to lose your balance. Go right into the second side, those of you single leggers. I did my hard side first. Just go ahead and get it over with. Easy side second. I'm getting a little tired, so it's a good thing, I guess. Getting close to the end. I got 3 more here on the single leg deadlifts. Okay, we're gonna do our goblet squats. So I'm just gonna grab one of my weights, put the other one down. Take the feet out wide, finding your squat stance. Inhale, sit the hips back. Exhale, rise, squeeze your butt to rise. That's 10. 5 more. Last one. Okay. let's do a crow pose. So earlier we had rolled up a blanket, let's do that again. And put that more towards the middle or back half of the mat. And we'll go into downward facing dog. Good, step your right foot forward. So your right heel is on the outer part of the blanket roll. And your left heel now forward so it's as wide as the right foot is, equidistant. Bring your elbows to the inside of your knees. Take a breath in, round your upper back. Take a breath out. See if you can slide your elbows down more. Good, and then see if you can touch the floor with your palms. Keep your elbows hugging in towards your triceps. Keep rounding your back like you would in a cat pose. And look straight down at your hands. And then keep hugging your elbows in towards your arms here. And tip your weight forward like a teeter-totter. And lift your left foot. Lower your left foot. Lift your right foot. Lower your right foot. Come back onto your heels. Just take a moment here. Lift up tall through your torso. And then we're going to do that one more time. Elbows in. Breathe in, fill your back lungs. Squeeze your elbows in towards your triceps. Slide your elbows down as much as you can. Take your hands to the floor. Keep breathing. Tip your weight forward. Come onto your tippy toes. Maybe lift your left foot or your right foot. Maybe lift both. Holding for as long as you can. Using your fingertips to help you to counterbalance. And when you're ready, come back down. Crow pose. Awesome. If that's one of those poses that's hard for you, you keep working on it, you'll get there. Okay, so my hip flexors are saying, hey, we need to stretch those babies after that. So let's come into a tabletop. Take the right leg back, connect the right toes to the floor, stretch the right heel back, the crown of the head forward, and then lower your right knee. Take your left toes back, connect the left toes to the floor, stretch the left heel back, and the crown of the head forward. Good. Now, grab your weights for your rows. I'm going to go 10s today. So from tabletop here, one weight in each hand. And exhale, lift that weight up so the elbow is just a little above the rib cage. Squeeze the right shoulder blade onto the back and then lower. Alternate left side lifts as you exhale. Inhale as you lower. So just keep moving at your own pace. Try not to slam the weights down. Move slow and controlled. That's 5. 10. Don't drop your head, keep it lifted. 9. get tired, I'm dropping the weights. I told you guys not to do that. Slow and controlled. There we go. Awesome. Okay, let's make our way onto our stomach. You'll move those weights aside. Come all the way down to your belly. Good. Hands underneath the shoulders. Curl your spine into a cobra. Bring your chin down towards your chest a little bit. Pausing here. You can push through your hands a little bit, but you want your back to be working. Point your toes back. Good. Now bring your elbows forward, underneath your shoulders. Just get a little bit more length through the upper body, the front line. And bring your elbows forward a little bit more. And bend your right knee and reach back and grab your right foot for a quad stretch. And release that side. Palms together. And then reach back and grab your left ankle with your left hand. And then release. Take your hands, palms down under your shoulders. Push yourself up and back. Sit back onto your heels. Take your hands back behind you. Stretch both the quads at the same time here. Lift the chest if that feels okay. And bring the hands in a little bit closer towards you, towards your bottom, and then lift your bum. A little bit of a chest, bicep stretch, quad stretch. Good, lower your hips and come into seated. I'm going to unroll my blanket to sit. We'll finish with a seated twist. Okay, so left leg extended out in front of you. Right knee is bent with the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. Left leg is active, so the toes are pointing up. Good, so as you hold the right knee with the left hand, create a little bit of push-pull with the hand pulling on the knee towards the opposite shoulder and the knee pushing into the hand. So your outer hip engages. Sit nice and tall as you inhale and take your twist to the right as you exhale. Right hand on the floor behind you. Bring some nice long deep breaths here. Breathing equally into both lungs as best as you can. And back to center. And we'll switch to the other side. So that left foot to the outside of the right thigh, the right foot is pointing up so the leg is active. Creating a little bit of push-pull as your left knee moves in towards the right shoulder. And you're resisting that effort by pressing your knee into your hand. Sitting tall as you inhale. Exhale, take your twist to the left. Looking over that left shoulder. Breathe equally into both lungs. you'll make your way into your comfortable seat now. So I think that worked out pretty well. Let me know how that worked out for you. Kind of a melange of yoga flow with the warrior fit. So, I'm always up to try new things. So let me know how it went for you. So I want to finish with a quote today from Nelson Mandela. And I've always appreciated what he has to say, particularly with his life experience and all that he's been through. So he says, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Isn't that the truth? Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I remember when my kids were younger and going to school, and I told them all the time, I said, if you want to be smart, you have to be strong. And I don't think they understood what that meant. And so, it takes a lot of upper body strength to be able to carry those heavy books around. So if you want to be smart and have knowledge, you got to be strong. I think they get it now. And when I started backpacking last year, I remember telling my daughter, I've worked my way up to carrying, 20-something pounds on my back for however many miles. And she said, oh, touche, Mother. I've been carrying book bags that are 30 to 40 pounds for years. So not only is she strong, she's really smart, and my son very much the same. So anyway, thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you'll join me for another Warrior Fit or a yoga class. Namaste.